Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for calling this hearing. Thank you to our witnesses for being here. Ms. Cole, I just want to start with something you said just a second ago. You said it's not hateful to question fake science. It's not hateful to protect children. It's not hateful to say that there are men and that there are women, and those two things are different. It's not hateful to say that little girls shouldn't be told that they really ought to be boys. It's not hateful to do any of those things. And I just think it's time to speak a little truth to power. Because the fact of the matter is, it is not bigotry to protect children in this country. I have sat here and listened to this side of the aisle say just a moment ago to compare protecting children and young people like you, Ms. Cole, to Jim Crow. We were just told a second ago it is the new Jim Crow to say that boys shouldn't be in girls' locker rooms. It is the new Jim Crow to say that men shouldn't be playing women's sports. I'm sorry, but that is the most ridiculous, outrageous thing I have heard in I don't know how long, and that is a real prize in the United States Senate. That is absolute garbage. And to hear these lies, and those are lies, spewed in this hearing room is absolutely astounding to me. It is time to speak the truth. Protecting children is not wrong. It is our job. It is right. It is justice. It's what we are here for. And I think it's time that we start exposing the nonsense, the outrageous nonsense that has been foisted on our children. You've testified to it, Ms. Cole. You said that you were pressured into transitioning. You were denied your full rights and the information that should have gone with your care. Your parents were not informed. You were kept in the dark. And the truth is, your case isn't a one-off case. Your case is systemic. We're seeing it over and over and over. You know, we're seeing things like what you wrote, Mr. Minter, in your book from 1999. You wrote, let's just look at this, that children as young as 2 years old can have gender identity dysphoria and things like boys rather, who want to avoid rough and tumble play in competitive sports who show little interest in cars and trucks may be gender dysphoric. You said about girls, let's look at the girls poster. You said about girls that little girls who have an identification with powerful male figures such as Batman or Superman, or a lack of interest in dolls or any form of feminine dress, may have gender dysphoria. You're a doctor?
You are quoting from the criteria from the DSM.
You're a doctor.
Those quotes are from the DSM.
You're a doctor.
I am a lawyer, and those quotes are from the DSM.
You're a trained therapist.
I am a lawyer, and those quotes.
You're an advocate, in fact, is what you are. You're an advocate. You're an advocate for this ideology, and that behind me is outrageously ridiculous. The idea that a 2-year-old girl who doesn't want to play with dolls might be gender dysphoric is ridiculous. It is outrageous, and it is time to say so. I don't care what labels you put on it. I don't care how many different titles you put on it in your books. It is absolutely outrageous. And I'll tell you one other thing, Mr. Chairman. There is no reason for this Congress to be funding outfits that perform transgender surgeries and force transgender therapies on minor children. And I have in mind Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood spends enormous sums of money trying to push transgender surgeries, hormone therapies on children. The Planned Parenthood League of Massachusetts, for example, advertises gender-affirming hormone therapy to minors who are 16 years old. We've got it right here. In fact, urging them to come and participate in these studies and taking the hormones so that they can get compensated, incentives for it. Here's the incredible thing. The United States is funding this. Do you know that Planned Parenthood got $1.5 billion? Let me say that again, $1.5 billion diverted from Medicaid and Medicare, taken from the poor, taken from our seniors, so that they could do this. This is outrageous. This is absolutely outrageous. It is unconscionable. It's time for this Congress to act. I heard one of my friends on the other side of the aisle say a moment ago that malpractice cases really were the answer. You know what? I agree with that. They are the answer. And we ought to pass legislation right now in this Congress that will enable more malpractice suits for people like you, Ms. Cole. If that really is the answer, and if there really is nothing to hide, then good. Let's put power in the hands of the people and let's open up the courtroom doors for those who have had these gender hormone surgeries, these transition therapies forced on them as you had, Ms. Cole. Let's open up the courtroom doors. Let's stop funding with taxpayer money hormone therapies, treatments, surgeries for minor children without their parents' consent. Let's reject the lies that this is somehow bigotry. Let's do our jobs and protect the children of this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.